YouTube is full of videos about good knives. It's full of videos about bad knives. It's high time that someone makes a video about weird knives. This is 3 Weird Knives, and I'm your host, JJJinks!
Let's get weird.
And I am back from my 2-week road trip vacation. I've been working from home all week because I went to a lot of states that are on New Jersey's naughty list. So between catching up on things and trying to manage my work from home, it's been a busy week. But I wanted to make this video just to keep up with the series, and well, I haven't been able to make anything since I've been vacationing, so here we are. We're going to start this episode off with an M-Tech ballistic knife. Found this on Amazon. This is a weird little one indeed. And what we have is a sort of RoboCop blue scale on this guy. Not RoboCop 1 and 2, where the blue color was sort of more subdued and more metallic. This is like a RoboCop 3 or the RoboCop television series, which was almost as bad as RoboCop 3, and they just sort of went with a more anodized blue look. But what makes this knife so weird is the blade. So what we have is a tip-down, low-ride pocket clip with a glass breaker over a lanyard arch. And opening this knife is kind of a pain, like literally. This is a very, very sharp flipper tab. It is open assisted. And you can immediately see why I wanted this knife. Look at this blade. Holy crap. What? Look, all right. We gotta talk about what's going on with this blade. I guess we'll start at the tip. What we have is, I guess, like a pry bar type of deal where I guess you can like pull up nails with it. Then you have like a seat belt cutter / gut hook thing going on. You got one of those hex screw ensembles, and then one random hex screw here, I guess because like they could fit it. Bottle opener, cap lifter deal here, and the blade is like entirely serrated. Now the reason why that flipper tab was so sharp is because this is also kind of a flathead screwdriver, and you got a sort of a Phillips head screwdriver on the other side of that flipper tab. So when you try to deploy the thing, you're kind of rubbing up against this flathead screw head, and it really digs into your finger. Upon unboxing it, the blade did not deploy very well at all. It took a little bit of breaking in time just to, I guess, get that lubrication through these spacers, which I'm assuming are Teflon. I haven't really looked. But yeah, I saw this knife and I just had to get it. It's so weird. One of those compound multifunctional blades that it's probably no good at any of the functions it has individually. But I love it. Up next, we have this letter opener. And I know it's a letter opener because the blade is not sharpened at all. It's very dull. And you have what appears to be an image of the Eiffel Tower on the both sides of the blade. And then when you put this thing into its sheath, it indeed very much resembles the Eiffel Tower, if you look at the architecture there. But what really makes it look like the Eiffel Tower is the actual Eiffel Tower stand that it goes into. This thing is huge. I can't even fit it properly onto the screen. It's an Eiffel Tower hide in plain sight letter opener. This thing I've seen for as much as like $30 or $40. I happened to find it on Amazon for like 14 bucks. And oh, this is exactly the kind of thing that I like to see when it comes to a weird knife. So everything is held together with Phillips head screws, including the sheath, which has kind of a spongy cutout in there for holding the knife opener thing into place. The stand, which is also held together by Phillips head screws, is just very super light spray painted-ish, some kind of paint. It's plastic. It's just super light, shitty, cheap plastic. You could almost sort of see this as like a security thing. Keep it by the door. People might think, hey, this guy's been to France. He must have something good. And then when the robber ventures further into the home, you can say, ha ha! And so there it is, a very weird knife indeed. The Eiffel Tower letter opener. This is a cardboard box that says FY.
Fuck you.
The cardboard's actually pretty nice. It's nice and thick. This box is probably, you know, all the value. And what we get is a little pouch here. And in that pouch is the weird knife. Now what we're looking at is an anodized blue multifunction dragon with a knife blade. And you get a whole bunch of these hex screw things on it, which are numbered 6, 8, 10, 7, 16ths, and 12. I'm a metric person, so I don't know what those mean. And then you got a ruler in inches on the top. Oops. And you got a big hole behind the dragon's head, which, if you look at the cutout, also looks like it's got kind of a duck's head going on. It's shiny, and you can spin it around in your finger like that. And you got a blade, which has a slight detent to hold it into place. And I guess it's sort of a frame lock. It's kind of an open concept of a knife. So anyway, you open it. This part moves over to lock it into place. And then you can push it back. Oh, look at that over travel. Woo! To unlock the blade and bring it back into its place. It's got one of these kind of thumb rhombuses. Is that what that is? Some kind of parallelogram thing. Looks like it's made of aluminum. And you get a little fuck you medallion right there on the pivot. This knife is terribly uncomfortable. Every edge, I mean, it's chamfered, but it is raw against your skin. But I kind of like the blade. It's narrow and slender, and even though it's not too sharp, it's actually a finely honed blade, meaning it's not rough. I've certainly seen much worse. And you also have a little tiny sharpening choil, which perfectly accommodates this blade stop pin so that you don't open it too much. Although I guess the backing here could have served that purpose, but I didn't engineer this thing. Although I don't think I would have changed a thing if I had. And you can see this little kind of darker blue part right here. This is where they probably clipped it in to anodize the whole thing. And then, of course, you have the dragon head itself with these metal spiky things on the top. I suppose this could be used as a bottle opener, cap lifter thing. Maybe that's what that's for. It's just an excuse to have a dragon head, in my opinion, and that is enough for me. I also wanted to point out that on the fuck you medallion, it's got a bit of a, what I thought was a pearlescent look to it, but upon closer inspection, I think that's just brown goo, which is a bonus in my opinion. So there you have it. The fuck you dragon.